Describing today's weather. Hello everyone. Welcome to English Listening Time. Today we're going to talk about the weather. Learning how to describe the weather is very useful for everyday conversations. Let's start. When we wake up in the morning, one of the first things we often do is look outside to see what the weather is like. Is it sunny? Is it raining? Is it cold or hot? These are all important questions that help us decide what to wear and what activities we can do for the day. Let's begin with a sunny day. When the sun is shining brightly in the sky, we say it's sunny. The sky is usually clear and blue on sunny days. It feels warm and pleasant outside. People often say, "It's a beautiful day," when it's sunny. On sunny days, many people like to go outside to enjoy the nice weather. They might have a picnic in the park, go for a walk, or play outdoor sports. Sometimes it can be very hot on sunny days, especially in the summer. When it's too hot, we might say, "It's scorching hot," or "It's boiling." On these days, it's important to drink plenty of water and stay in the shade if possible. Many people like to go to the beach or a swimming pool to cool off when it's very hot. Now let's talk about rainy days. When water falls from the sky, we call it rain. On rainy days, the sky is usually gray and cloudy. We can't see the sun because it's hidden behind the clouds. When it's raining, people often use umbrellas to stay dry. They might wear raincoats or rain boots too. There are different types of rain. Sometimes it rains lightly and we call this a drizzle. Other times it can rain very heavily. We might say, "It's pouring," or "It's raining cats and dogs," when it's raining a lot. During heavy rain, it's best to stay indoors if possible. After it rains, we sometimes see a rainbow in the sky. Rainbows have many beautiful colors and appear when the sun shines through raindrops in the air. People often feel happy when they see a rainbow. Let's move on to cloudy days. When there are many clouds in the sky, we say it's cloudy. On cloudy days, the sun is often hidden behind the clouds, so it's not as bright outside. The weather can feel cooler on cloudy days compared to sunny days. Sometimes, clouds can be very dark and heavy. We call these storm clouds. When we see storm clouds, it usually means that rain is coming soon. During a storm, we might hear thunder and see lightning. Thunder is the loud noise we hear during a storm, and lightning is the bright flash of light we see in the sky. Now let's talk about windy days. When the air is moving quickly, we say it's windy. On windy days, we can feel the air blowing against our skin. Trees and flags move back and forth in the wind. If it's very windy, it can be difficult to walk or ride a bicycle. Wind can be gentle or strong. A gentle wind feels nice and cool on a hot day. We might call this a breeze. But when the wind is very strong, it can be dangerous. Strong winds can knock over trees and damage buildings. During very strong winds, it's safest to stay indoors. In some places, the weather can change quickly. It might be sunny in the morning and rainy in the afternoon. This is why many people check the weather forecast every day. The weather forecast tells us what the weather will be like in the future. It helps us plan our activities and choose the right clothes to wear. Let's talk about the 4 seasons and how the weather changes throughout the year. In many parts of the world, there are 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn or fall, and winter. Spring is the season when flowers start to bloom and trees grow new leaves. The weather in spring is usually mild. It's not too hot or too cold. There can be some rain in spring, which helps the plants grow. Many people enjoy spring because the weather is pleasant and nature looks beautiful. Summer is the hottest season of the year. The days are long, and the sun shines brightly. Many people like to spend time outdoors in summer. They go to the beach, have barbecues, or go camping. However, it can sometimes be too hot in summer. On very hot days, it's important to stay cool and drink plenty of water. Autumn, also called fall in some countries, is the season when the weather starts to get cooler. The leaves on trees change color and fall to the ground. The days become shorter, and we might need to wear warmer clothes. Autumn weather can be quite changeable. Some days might be warm and sunny, while others can be cool and rainy. Winter is the coldest season. In many places, it snows in winter. Snow is like small, white ice crystals that fall from the sky. When there's a lot of snow on the ground, children often like to play in it. They might build snowmen or have snowball fights. However, snow can also make it difficult to travel. So we need to be careful when driving or walking in snowy weather. In winter, we need to wear warm clothes like coats, hats, gloves, and scarves to stay warm. Some days in winter can be very cold. We might say, it's freezing on these days. When it's very cold outside, many people prefer to stay indoors where it's warm. Now let's talk about some extreme weather conditions. These are types of weather that are unusual and can sometimes be dangerous. One type of extreme weather is a heat wave. A heat wave is when it's extremely hot for several days or even weeks. During a heat wave, it's important to stay cool and drink lots of water. Many people try to stay in air-conditioned places during heat waves. Another type of extreme weather is a hurricane or typhoon. These are very strong storms with powerful winds and heavy rain. Hurricanes and typhoons usually happen near the ocean. They can cause a lot of damage to buildings and trees. When a hurricane is coming, people often need to prepare by storing food and water, or sometimes even leaving their homes for safety. Tornadoes are another type of extreme weather. A tornado is a powerful spinning column of air that reaches from the sky to the ground. Tornadoes can be very dangerous because they can destroy buildings and throw heavy objects into the air. If there's a tornado warning, it's important to go to a safe place, usually in the lowest part of a building. Blizzards are extreme winter weather events. A blizzard is a severe snowstorm with strong winds. During a blizzard, it can be hard to see because of all the snow in the air. Blizzards can make roads very dangerous for driving. Floods are another type of extreme weather event. A flood happens when there's too much water in an area. This can happen after very heavy rain or when snow melts quickly. Floods can damage homes and make roads impassable. Droughts are the opposite of floods. A drought is when there's not enough rain for a long time. During a drought, plants can die, and there might not be enough water for people to use. Droughts can last for months or even years in some places. Now that we've talked about different types of weather, let's discuss how weather affects our daily lives. The weather can influence what we wear. On hot days, we might wear light clothes like shorts and t-shirts. On cold days, we wear warm clothes like sweaters and jackets. When it's raining, we might wear a raincoat or carry an umbrella. Weather also affects our activities. On nice days, we might spend more time outside. We could go for a walk, have a picnic, or play sports. On rainy or very cold days, we might stay inside more. We could read a book, watch a movie, or play indoor games. The weather can even affect how we feel. Many people feel happier on sunny days and might feel a bit sad on gray, rainy days. This is normal, and it's good to remember that the weather will change again soon. Weather is also very important for farmers. Different crops need different types of weather to grow well. Too much rain or not enough rain can damage crops. Farmers pay close attention to the weather forecast to help them decide when to plant and harvest their crops. In some jobs, people work outside all day. For example, construction workers, gardeners, and postal workers need to be prepared for all types of weather. They often check the weather forecast to know what to expect each day. Weather can also affect travel. Strong winds or heavy snow can cause flights to be delayed or canceled. Rain or ice can make roads slippery and dangerous for driving. It's always a good idea to check the weather forecast before going on a trip. Now, let's learn some common phrases people use to talk about the weather. These are useful for everyday conversations. When someone asks, "How's the weather?" you can answer in many ways. If it's a nice day, you might say, "It's lovely out," or "It's a beautiful day." If it's not so nice, you could say, "It's miserable out," or "The weather is awful today." If it's very hot, you might hear people say, "It's sweltering," or "It's a scorcher today." When it's very cold, people often say, "It's freezing," or "It's bitter cold." When it's raining lightly, we might say, "It's spitting," or "It's drizzling." For heavy rain, we say, "It's pouring," or "It's raining cats and dogs." If the weather is changing, we might say, "The weather is turning," or "It looks like it's going to rain." These phrases are great for small talk. Talking about the weather is a common way to start a conversation, especially with people you don't know well. As we come to the end of our discussion about weather, let's recap what we've learned. We've talked about different types of weather like sunny, rainy, cloudy, and windy days. We've discussed the 4 seasons and how the weather changes throughout the year. We've learned about extreme weather conditions like heat waves, hurricanes, and blizzards. We've also seen how weather affects our daily lives, from what we wear to what activities we do. Remember, weather is a part of our everyday lives. It's always changing and can be different from place to place. Learning to describe the weather in English is useful for many situations, from casual conversations to understanding weather forecasts. I hope you've enjoyed learning about weather today. Keep practicing these words and phrases, and soon you'll be able to talk about the weather with confidence in English. Thank you for listening to English Listening Time. Keep learning and practicing your English every day. The weather might change, but your knowledge of English will always stay with you. Have a great day and don't forget to check the weather forecast.